Hey guys, it's me again. Okay, alright. Now, Stay at Home Dad, Chapter 2. Chapter 2. Knees still bother you? Cedric Cobb asked. Not very much, I said. We were standing at the edge of the parking lot, watching the police technicians meander around my Honda, staring at it like it was a science project gone wrong. Carly was sitting on the edge of the curb next to me, her chin in her hands, waiting for us to be told we could go home. And Darlene was off to the side in the crowd, reporting what she'd seen in my minivan, when a hand cupped to the side of her mouth in a failed attempt at secrecy. Cedric, though, his title as sheriff was more ceremonial than anything now that Rose Petal had incorporated. It had its own police force, was one of the first people to arrive, forced into desk duty. He sought out every opportunity to get out of the office and act like a cop again. He'd been one of my father's best friends for years, and I'd known him since I was a kid. Cedric rubbed his square jaw and cut loose a low whistle. I remember that hit Benny laid on you. Sounded like someone snapping a pencil in half when his helmet hit your knee. One of the problems with living in a small town, particularly a small town that reveres its sports, is no one forgets a player or a play they did or did not make. Cedric himself was Rose Petal's unofficial high school sports historian. Benny Barnes and I had been taught by that small-minded legacy since that night during my senior year of high school when he ended my football playing days. Cedric shook his head. Would have been nice to see you play at A&M. Would have been nice not to have had to pay for my college education, I thought. Yup. He shifted his weight, which at just under 300 pounds was considerable, and squinted at me. Bet that pissed you on. His turning your knee into spaghetti and all. He was about as subtle as a stun gun. Cedric, I haven't seen Benny in months, and I haven't said a word to him in years. Cedric nodded slowly at the, sure, just saying, Deuce. Daddy, what are you doing? What are they doing to my car? Carly asked below me. They just have to check some things, I said, uncertain of what they were doing. And they have to get the man out, too. Are they gonna wake him up? Cedric chuckled softly next to me. I'm not sure, honey. Cedric squinted again in my direction. How's it gone, not having the job and all? I have a job, Cedric. I take care of my daughter. He held up his huge hands like I was going to attack him. Hey, don't take it the wrong way, Deuce. I like it if Emmy get her big old rear end off the sofa and get her own job so I could stay at home and do whatever all day. The notion of a stay-at-home father was still a new idea in Rose Petal, Texas. When Carly was born, Julia and I made a decision. She had a career that she loved, and that paid her more than enough for us to live on. What I was making as a high school teacher and football coach was pocket change and would have flown out the door straight to daycare. So I quit. And most of the residents in Rose Petals still thought I'd been fired and that I had been sending out resumes with no look for 3 years. Truth was, I'd been a little nervous about it at first. I liked teaching and coaching, and I wasn't sure how I would do it at home, all alone with a tiny little being that would depend on me completely. But I had taken it to after about a minute after we brought Carly home from the hospital, and I relished the reverse gender roles we created in our home. Didn't mean I liked to take any crap about it though. I have a job, Cedric, I said again. A familiar bristle of irritation tickling my stomach. I take care of my daughter. Cedric chuckled, nodding his fat cheeks gently. Sure, Deuce, I got it, he paused. Hey, I got up at 5:30 this morning to get to work. What time you get out of bed to go to work? We get up at 8 o'clock, Carly announced every day. We've been talking about time recently. Apparently she started to figure it out. Cedric made a face, no, nodding like that seemed about right. 8 o'clock? Boy, oh boy. Shut up, Cedric, I muttered. Uh-oh. He aimed his chin at a younger guy in a suit and dark glasses, expecting the rear of the van. You're gonna have fun with that boy. Who's he? Willie Bell, Cedric said. Detective Willie Bell. Serious as a hurricane, but dumber than a puddle of spit. That is unlucky that he pulled this one. Unlucky for you. Detective Willie Bell stood a few feet behind my van. He removed his sunglasses, sweeping them off his face dramatically, then sticking the arm of the glasses into his mouth. He was speaking with one of the technicians who pointed in our direction. Bell followed his direction and headed our way. Oh boy, Cedric said, grinning. This will be entertaining. Bell stopped in front of us, a couple inches shorter than me at 6 feet slim, a brush top crew cut. His skin was pink like he just finished shaving. Short stubby nose and wide eyes shaped like eggs. His get-up was right out of a cop show from the 70s. An orange polyester short sleeve dress shirt paired with hideous gray polyester pants that were an inch too short at his feet, exposing white socks under black lace-ups. He looked me up and down, the glasses still in his mouth. Then he whipped the glasses up and slid them onto his face, which I thought was sort of funny because the sun was behind him. You the owner of the vehicle? He asked, his voice carrying the fake tone of a radio admin deeper than his real voice. Like he was about to offer me the deal of a lifetime on a used car. Yes, I said. Gonna need to ask you some questions, he said. Tough ones. I'll try hard. Bell raised a thick furred eyebrow above the glasses. Don't get smart with me, sir. This is a criminal investigation and very serious matter. Sure. Sorry. Deuce is all right, Willie, Cedric said. Just be cool. Bell ignored him. Tell me what happened. I explained coming out of the store and finding Benny in the car. What were you doing shopping in the middle of the day? Bell asked. We grocery shop every Tuesday morning. Ah, so you're unemployed. Cedric cleared his throat. I take care of my daughter, I say. I stay home with her. Can't find a job, Bell persisted. Maybe a little angry about that. What was I angry about was having my morning filled with boozers. I'm not looking for a job, I said. I pointed down at Carly. Taking care of my daughter is my job. She smiled up at Willie Bell. We get up at 8 o'clock. Bell didn't acknowledge her. What is exactly when I submitted my opinion of him? Tough is like a guy who doesn't acknowledge a cute 3-year-old. Don't know about that, Bell said. Know about what? Your denial of anger, sir. I hear you and the victim has some history, Bell said, folding his arms about his chest and tilting his chin up. Care to fill me in? I held out my hand to Carly. She reached up, grabbed it, and pulled herself up. I smiled at her. Then I looked at Willie Bell. Actually, no. Sounds like you already know what you need to know. So I think I'm done. I looked at Cedric, who shrugged and waddled away. Bell put his hands on his hips. I'll tell you what when you're done, mister. No, I said as calmly, and I walked away from him to the other end of the parking lot. You can tell my lawyer when we're done.